Yo, what it do? It's Clout TV back at y'all niggas with some breaking news. Today we gonna be talking about FBG Butter and FBG Duck. But before we get into that, you already know what to do. Subscribe to this channel, turn on all the post notifications. Shout out my Clout TV notification gang. We see y'all. Y'all keep commenting on my videos, keep liking them because they get bigger every time y'all like them motherfuckers. But the news gonna be on FBG Butter and FBG Duck. Now, FBG Butter was a hitter. You know, he was a shooter for the FBG gang way back then. Like I heard he killed a couple people, a couple BDs actually in Chicago, and they say he did it on behalf of KI. A lot of people was calling KI. She was a female serial killer. She was an assassin. She killed like 7 people. And a lot of people was mistaking her for FBG Butter because they both looked identical. They both was light skinned. They both had the braids with the beads hanging off of them. So you know, a lot of motherfuckers thought that she was him and he was her. But one day FBG Butter and Lil Jay got booked in the jail for murder. They both got caught and booked in the fucking county for murder. Now these dudes was looking at like 50 years and shit. King Lil Jay, he's still locked up right now to this day as we speak for the same murder. How the fuck is FBG Butter out? Now FBG Butter is out of jail. He's been out of jail for about a year now. He's been doing excellent, shooting videos, shit like that. FBG Butter was kind of scared that when he came back, his reputation would have been tarnished and shit. But Big Duck stepped in. FBG Duck stepped in and took him up under his wing. The reason why FBG Duck stepped in because he knew Butter from the streets. Butter was always claiming FBG. He was always around, you know, King Lil J, the GDs. He was always around the block. So Duck kind of, you know, discarded the rumors. He didn't believe that shit. And he let FBG Butter back into FBG. He let FBG Butter back into FBG. A lot of the gang members was asking Duck, like, man, is you crazy and shit? But Duck knew what the fuck he was doing. Because he knew that Butter didn't have no mind. If he tell Butter to do something, Butter was going to motherfucking do it. If he tell Butter to shoot, Butter was going to shoot. So he knew what he was doing when he let Butter back in the game. So now Butter just had to build his reputation back. He had to, you know, drop numerous videos, start dissing the ops, you know, shit like that, which he did. He did his first interview when he got up. I think it was when he got out. It was with Status Update, and he did that first interview and shit. You know, the fans went crazy. You know, they was surprised that he was even out of jail because they was wondering how the fuck is he out of jail and Lil J still locked up. Like it's a big ass conspiracy theory if you ask me. Lil J, he keeps saying that he coming home soon. He said that he was gonna be here. Last month he said he was gonna be here. 2 months before that he said he was gonna be home. He still haven't got home. So we don't know what the fuck going on with his case, and we don't know what exactly FBG Butter had to do with it. We just know that Butter is free. He living his life. Him and Fendi Boy dropped a video and shit. You gotta go check that out. But we don't understand how is he out. You know, Doug took him up under his wing. He tried to show FBG Butter how to get this money. You know, it's a better life out there. You ain't gotta be out here fighting for your life and dissing, you know, the ops and shit like that. So he put him in a predicament to win. He had that nigga go to the studio. Butter was dropping songs. He was doing interviews. He was doing good as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And, a lot of people are starting to gain the respect that they had before the snitching allegations. They started to gain that shit back for him. You know, he was really popping back out. He was really in the hood. He was sliding. He was doing all type of shit, man. Like, you know, he's still out. He's still free to this day. Hopefully we can get an interview with him. But Butter been through a lot of shit as far as that jailhouse and them cases. When he first got out of jail, he looked at fucking pale as fuck. Like, he already light skinned, but it looked like he didn't have no fucking like blood running through his veins at all. He just looked like a fucking zombie. And you know what? Like I said, he came home. And Duck gave him a place to stay, gave him a gun, some pills, made him hit the block. You know, made him go to the studio, drop some hot shit, and he did all this shit. And then FBG Duck was backdoored and gunned down tragically by his own homies. You know, by his own homies. These same dudes is dissing this cat right now today, as we speak. You ain't never really hear FBG Butter dissing Duck or nothing. Every time I hear FBG Butter say something about Duck, it's like he either missed some rest in peace, you know, shit like that. He ain't never like dissed like Duck or none of that shit. Now you got your own homies out here dissing you and doing all this foul ass fucked up shit. You know, that's why you gotta watch niggas and stay 10 toes down. You gotta keep your eyes up, because it ain't no lacking. It's no lacking out here. And that's how people get caught lacking. Believe in other motherfuckers, you know. I think when Lil Jay when Lil Jay get out of jail, I think he gonna try to start some shit with FBG Butter. Uh, the reason why I think this is because, first of all, FBG Butter was fighting a case with him. They was both locked up at the same time. Second of all, Butta got out way before him, so we don't know if they claim Butta snitched or what. And third of all, he already got a head start in the music shit. So when he got out, the first thing he did was drop a song in an interview. You know, so he was already when Butta was locked up in jail, he was hearing about the King Vons and the good shit that was happening in Chicago. Chicago had the light now. You know, they knew that they had the light since 2012, but this a different kind of light. This motherfucker's getting $50 million deals and shit type of light, you know. And well, I think he respected that shit, and he kind of chilled out and focused on his music. He kind of remembered what Duck told him to do. Like, it ain't all about this, but don't get me wrong, his ass still be out wild, and I still be seeing his ass at the gas station with the 30 and shit going ham, so don't let that shit fool you. Well, we just happy that he kind of focused now, because like I said back then, he wasn't doing nothing, no interviews, he wasn't focused on no type of music, none of that shit. So we just happy that he focused. You know, he got his head on his shoulders now. He thinking. You know, he using his mind. So we happy about that. We also happy that he keeping FBG Duck name alive. You know, he keeping his name alive, and you know, making sure nobody never forget him. He know what Duck did for him. And if it wasn't for FBG Duck, I don't think FBG Butter would even be allowed back in the hood. Like, Duck set up everybody to know that he good. He good. Like, that shit was a lie, you know? So I think FBG Butter really appreciate that shit. And he really, you know, thank Duck for having his back like that. And I really believe that he wished Duck was here, because that's the only person who was in his corner. Like I said, that was the only person who took him in, you know, coached him, try to, you know, teach him to do something right. That was the only person who did that. So I know he missed Duck. I know he do. But like I said, hopefully Lil Jay get out soon. I don't know what that's gonna bring when Lil Jay get out of jail. I don't know what kind of ruckus gonna start between Jay and, you know, Butta and Jay, because I know that they got words for each other. They ain't see each other in, you know, damn near what, 10 over 10 years. They haven't seen each other ever since that guy got murdered, and they was both on the case together. So I know when Jay get out, it's gonna be kind of spooky. You know, they gonna say Mr. Clout Lord is back and he won his spot. He gonna already see that FBG Butter got a head start in the game, and you know what I'm saying. He gonna be, you know. So shit, we can't wait to see that. Free Lil Jay, you know. But it was a lot of bad rumors about him going around too. Like, said that he was in jail, having sex with dudes, and he had HIV from sleeping with the dudes in the county and shit. It's just, You know, they showed us a picture of him. Yeah, his hair was falling out. He was fat as hell. You know, it was just crazy, man. So we don't know how true that was, but I know it was on some big motherfucking blog sites, and they was really claiming that shit was true. So we don't know how true it is. I know he was hanging with that dude, young QC, young QC bitch ass, the dude who murdered his mom for insurance money. He set his mom up and got her killed by his two best friends, all over insurance money. Lil Jay got a picture with him in jail and like three other niggas. They all in the motherfucking cell. Like, how the fuck is young QC even still breathing after he set his mom up for that insurance money? Like, QC should have been gone. Like, he should have. And that goes to, I don't know if that was protective custody or general population. I don't know what the fuck that was, but young QC should have been gone ever since he set his mom up. He set his own mama up and killed her for insurance money. For like $2 million, he was all on YouTube passing it out, talking about this for the fans and all this goofy ass shit. You know, Lil Jay, he took a picture with him recently in jail, like they was cool and shit. So I don't know. I just kind that shit kind of freaky to me. I don't know nothing about that shit. I just kind of found it funny. But if Lil J is on some soft ass shit like that, and he so called change, you know, and he get out of jail, you know, it wouldn't even be right. You know, I wouldn't believe a word he's saying. You know, I wouldn't even believe it. No, I can't go. That's how I know that it's gonna be a big ass problem when he run into Butta, because they both was fighting that case together. And Butta was locked up. Butta got out. You know, he actually got to say goodbye to Duck. Like, he actually was hanging around with Duck for a, a couple years before he passed. So that's something that, you know, Lil J, Duck was Lil J close friends. They both was on A&E together. Drugs Inc. That TV show. They was both on that TV show, showing, you know, talking about, you know, showing the cameraman and them how they get loud and how they get pills and shit. Like, they was on that show. That shit hit national TV. Like, that shit, I was in the crib eating dinner and I seen that shit on TV. So I know that Duck and Lil J was cool as fuck, but FBG Butter got to say goodbye because he got out that jam first. He got out of jail first, and Lil J, he gonna hold that against Butter because he feel like he should be out. So it's all just a fucked up, crazy ass story, if you ask me. But like I said, hopefully when Lil J get out, it ain't no bullshit. Hopefully he can come to his mind. Like, it's about to be this 2022. It's a new age. It's a new era. You know, the ops just get bigger and bigger while we sitting here arguing with each other. But, you know, I still wouldn't be hanging with no snitches though. I wouldn't even trust both of the niggas. If you was even in that situation, I couldn't hang with you no more. That's just me personally. But yeah, like I said, Clout TV, free Lil J. You already know what it is. Shout out FBG Butter. Rest in peace, Duck. We got some new interviews. We got a lot of shit jumping, so make sure you subscribe to this channel. Turn on all the post notifications. You already know what it is. It's Clout TV, and we out of this bitch. Gang.